both sides now, and I'm going to set up my sliding table and cut these end pieces flush as well. Alright, I've got this set up to take just a skim cut here. I've got weights on this side of the panel because more than half the panel is hanging off my sliding table. That helps keep it down and tight to the table here, this table saw table. So I've got it locked down, and hopefully I'm just going to take a little bit of skim cut here. Molding all made. I just want to show you this. On the second to the last pass, it cost me one of my rubber tips. Better this than one of these though. So I'll be happy to replace that tip. Well, now you can see why I wasn't totally happy with what I had done the first time. This looks really clunky, and this looks much better. More traditional, I guess. Alright, piece one is in the books, this long side here. And I'm working on this corner, and I've taken the time to make a little short piece that's mitered and done on my shooting board to see if I like that fit. And I do. That looks good to me. I mean, it's tiniest of a gap, but I'm fine with that. Why don't you put some glue in there? So now that I know that's good, I've run this end on my shooting board. I know this is going to fit. Now I've got to get it to length. And I've got, let me show you this big picture, I guess. Yeah, I've got a solid 1/8 of an inch. I'm not going to take that off with the shooting board, so I'm going to take this corner, take off the majority of this at the miter saw, and then come back and run it on my shooting board until I get the fit I like. Very close, very close. more, I guess. There we go. Okay. One side down, one to go. And when I take these out, I'm going to mark them as well. And I can see that these corners are fairly flush, but this one is a little high, so I've got to sand that down. Or hit it with a hand plane. That corner. That one's good. That one's good. Okay, I'll work on the other field and then we'll come back and glue these in place. Starting to take shape. Well, I'm not a big fan of nails, but in this case that's about all I can do. So I've got the number 4 ready to go here. I'm going to put some glue behind it in the corner and then pin nail it in about 3 spots for this one anyway. That should give it a good hold. Ah. That's 2 of them. You got to keep that gun tight to the wood. I'll see if I can get those in. No, that wasn't without a little turmoil. I was able to get everything installed here. It looks good. Had a couple more nails that gave me grief. But all in all, it looks good. It'll be one of those you'll never know type situations where I won't tell anybody. Okay. Now I've got the headboard piece of the frame and the headboard centered up and clamped together. Now this is the inside. This is the back side. It needs to be flipped, but I'm going to be working on this side, lining up these stanchions, I'll call them, to these holes. So I want to establish a center line here and work off of that. Alright, I was able to get my T-square adjusted so I could drop these lines on here. They are dead nuts 2 inches apart, both of them. And all I did was follow the outside line of these wood washers that I put in here. And so those are perpendicular and straight, and that's what I'm going to work off of. And then the piece that will go in here, let me see here. Yeah, these are 4 inches on center. So I can, I need to add this height, or this, yeah, this height, plus 8 inches, and then that's when the headboard will fasten to these uprights. So I have to make a good solid upright here, something that won't flex. Won't flex too much. I think this is gonna want to go flex. If you put too much pressure on the headboard, it's gonna put pressure on these hanger brackets. I like the layout, so I'm gonna work with it and go from there. So since I used my shaper origin to cut the holes out for my threaded inserts in my headboard, or the headboard of the bed frame, I want to use it to do this as well on these posts. So I've got the posts laying up the narrow width. No, wait, this is the narrow width that way. Okay, I got to drop this down a little. All right, I remilled these boards. They're now 2 inches square. I have to pick the side that I want to face the footboard, and the bad face will be against the wall, basically. So this has got a little, when I glued up this workbench years ago, you can see I got some delamination, or not delamination, but where the boards are not clamped tightly together in spots. So I want that facing the wall. The other side is, the other side looks nice. I like that edge grain look of that one, and the other one looks the same way. So I've got to stop in here. Should be good to go. Alright, figured it out. I got to stop here on this end, and then I just slid my tape board down a ways. Instead of clamping it to the extrusion, I just clamped it to the table. That's not going anywhere, and everything is good and solid. So now I can get my shaper set up, run these holes as deep as I can, cut a hole for a washer, and deep enough for the head of a bolt. I want that bolt, I don't want it sticking out past this surface. All right, here's my dilemma. I've set my file up for 6 by 2, and then these holes are 4 inches on center. So I didn't change that part of the file, but this part of the equation changed because I added this 1/2 inch ledger board on the back here. You can't see it, but it's right here. And I added the 3/4 inch trim as well. So to the best guess, I've got 1 5/8 to the center. If I go to the fat way, I'm going to go 1 11/16, and then because the boards are, those posts are long, I can mount them and trim them. I'm going to put a little angle on them anyway, but that'll give me room to get them flush to the bottom. I misspoke earlier. It's 1 11/16 up from the bottom of this post. I need a 1 1/4 diameter for the washer, and then this depth from the bottom of the washer to the top of the bolt is about 310 thousandths. So I'm going to cut the outside diameter of this washer first inside the line, and I think when I cut on the line it'll give me 1.25 inches, but I just want to be sure before I go too deep with this thing. So 0 offset. Alright, much more efficient. So I can finish drilling these holes. First I want to fix this one. I want that, the head of that bolt pulling that washer. I'm going to cut a plug and then take these to the drill press, finish drilling these through, and we'll see how they fit. Alright, I got to make this quick. I've only got a couple minutes left on this card. I'm going to, first of all, I moved my setup and I was too quick. So I had to do this on the drill press, drill a 3/4 inch hole because it wasn't flat, it was helixing down. And now I'm good to go, I think. I'll put glue in here. And this plug's got a slight taper to it, so it's going to get tighter as it goes down. Give this a little love tap. There, nice and flush. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'll drill the hole. That's the other thing I did. I finished drilling these holes, so now I can come from this side and get a perfect through hole.